So I'm gonna be pretty honest with you. I'm pretty sure this video's already edited. I just watched it. This is probably the worst video I've ever made. But I gotta give some context behind it because I think it might make it a little bit more enjoyable. Like I think if you know what's going on, it might not be maybe you'll like this video. I don't know. So basically, this was like the worst day that I experienced in the past 2 years. I thought this video was lost. Basically, right after Woodward in like August of last year, I switched phones, and then my old phone stopped turning on. That's why I had to switch phones, so I lost a bunch of footage. And I thought this was some of it, but I actually ended up just getting that phone turned on. That's why you got that old Eldersburg video. And then I also pulled this footage off. And even after I had filmed this video, I didn't think I was going to make a video out of it because it was such a terrible day. And some of the reasons I'm not getting into. I'm not getting into any of those reasons, but there's reasons that I can get into, and those are the ones we're going to talk about, which will add a little bit of context to this video. So basically, I'm starting to feel like kind of sick. I have this like bad habit of, since skateboarding is fun and filming videos is fun, and it never really feels like work, it's really easy for me to say yes to myself to go do that stuff. So like I'm not feeling good this day, but I'm like, it's like skating though. It shouldn't be that bad. But I was like really, like I had no business riding a skateboard. And I was like, I had no business doing anything. I was like emotionally kind of just like dealing with shit. And so I'm like, well, whatever, I'm just going to the skate park. Maybe it'll make me feel better. And then I go to the skate park, and you can see in the very beginning of this video, like I wish I would show you the cutting room floor. This video would be like, watch the footage that you're going to see in this compared to like the kind of skating that I normally can do. And like, that's not a toot my own horn thing. Like this is like, I'm struggling to do anything. And I think this is the worst I have skated in maybe the past 10 years. Like it's like insane on how uncomfortable I was on my skateboard. But just like in general, and you can see like the sweat, like I start sweating super profusely because I'm like getting really sick. After I filmed this video and I flew home back to California, I was like in bed for like 10 days straight. Like I was super sick. And this isn't the sickness that I just dealt with. It's a completely other thing. This is just like some gnarly virus that I got. But also, we'll watch the skating, because then what happens after is like the really gnarly part. And I feel like that needs its own separate context because it's pretty wild. So here's the video of me being super miserable. Hang in there. It gets interesting. I'm in Baltimore, and there's a random ledge at this park. Some box. I don't know why, but I like it. So I've spent the last 8 days, I think, back home with my family, not skateboarding, with the exception of the day that I went out and filmed that Westminster video and the Shrimptown video. Just kind of walking down memory lane, lots of nostalgia, lots of talking to old friends, seeing old things. I figured I'd do one more thing. I would come back to my very first sponsor that I ever had. It was a skate shop / skate park. I rode for it for a couple years, and holy crap, it is hot outside. So right when you walk in, the first room, it's a bunch of different rooms here that all have different stuff. Definitely my favorite room is this mini ramp. Really smooth wood. It's not fraying or anything, and it's not super slick like sometimes masonite or indoor skate light can be. It's got like a decent amount of grip to it, but just enough slide. Kind of the perfect material. I prefer this for indoor wooden skate parks. Like I'd rather this stuff than any sort of like coating. Honestly, actually, the new skate light might be actually the best thing I think about with the holes. It's just a little loud, which actually I kind of like. But yeah, this is soft, it's quiet, it's smooth. Big fan of it. First room I'll skate is this. Try to do some stuff. I'm also getting over a sickness, so bear with me.
673. Follow cover. I didn't really grind that second 5L, but I'm already drenched. Yeah, promote your camera right now. We're gonna do your first drop. You're gonna drop it on the lower one right now, and without taking, you're not gonna walk up and look at it. You're literally gonna drop in, not say nothing, walk up and immediately drop it right away. Don't think about it, don't set the board up, don't be like, okay, here we go. Like really, you're gonna drop in, walk up, turn around, and just go immediately. No risk. The longer you take between doing this one and that one, the more you're gonna get scared of, but I'm telling you right now, that feels exactly like that. The only difference is this is more mellow because it has a bigger transition, it has a bigger arc. This is actually steeper. So this, the amount of vertex right here is the same amount of vertex right here. So that means all this needs to be more of a bend. So this, you're probably going to get this much more smooth than this. It's not going to be more. Drop it once, turn around, and go. Yeah, it's perfect. We're just going to do it right now. We're just trying it. Don't even think about it, just go. Don't look at me, you're just going to set up, you're going to drop it and go right now. Yep, you're in, go, go, go. You should do it again and try to ride over the bump. Okay. Nice! So you got a bike section right here. A bunch of bigger obstacles. This really long ledge that goes across both A-frames. It's got an A-frame with a little flat gap. Got this bank to long ledge. One of these things, these are like Scooter's favorite things right now, where you just like launch up real high and get to land on like a bit of a resi. So more or less, this is like the transition slash like bike launch section. Skateboarding section's mostly in the back there. We'll get to that later. Try to bounce out of the menu. Can I help you get back up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll help you get back up. All right, try to float out of here, sink into the foam pit on my board, try to use the sprunginess of the foam pit to jump back up. I just want to be the first person to do something in a foam pit and actually right away. Do I have to do what? Yep. Oh, no thank you. That sounds dangerous. Okay. just knew my feet were terrible, but for a second I thought I had it. I should have done that one. Look at me, I'm drenched. The reason those kids were barefoot in the film put earlier is because they climb on top of this and they just jump off into it. This rail is super OG. This is like one of the old setup flat bars that he's using again. Things like solid steel, that thing ain't going nowhere. Last time I was here a while ago, I remember I did nose grind like out of this across the whole thing and then down, and I remember this crack right here. Like right when I would get over the kink, I'd give it like a little like nollie nudge and kind of like bash through this. To where you actually wouldn't nollie, but you would like float like you would. That's pretty cool. Be more. So the skate park section, that flat bar used to be on flat ground at another location. So if you used to have a skate park, it's called like the Mason-Dixon Line Skate Park or something like that. It was like technically in Delaware. It was like my favorite flat bar ever. It's actually where I learned how to cross-lock my 50/50s. The main section I think skaters usually mess around with is like these two 5-stairs. So this one has a handrail, this one has a hubba. It's got a really good learning quarter pipe, super mellow, small in the mini ramp. I think this pool coping right here is from Grind Lab. And yeah, it's got a vert ramp. Which, an indoor vert ramp, good luck finding one of those. Super rare. That's crazy that he has it. That might be the only vert ramp for like, that's probably the only vert ramp in Maryland that's indoors, if there is another vert ramp at all. Oh, that double-sided ledge looks cool. Pretty casual hips. You got this kind of cool like gap to the pool coping, go around the corner. A lot of stuff that I think would be fun to play on, but honestly, I'm dying. 2 reasons I have to leave right now. 1, I want to go see my dad. 2, I think I'm like getting sick. I'm drenched. I barely skated at all. Like I feel awful. I've been fighting something for like 2 days. 3, there's a tornado coming. So yeah, that's my excuses. And aside from that, they have that like classic 2007 bump to rail that everyone used to love. This kink hubba that looks like terrifying. Double set, 2-block kind of gap thing, 4-stair, round down rail, a little bit taller of a bump to rail, a little shorter of one. And then probably like my favorite thing that's here that I actually am not going to skate this time because I'm just so exhausted is this mini ramp. It's like all of that good wood, super wide, super playful, long grinds. Trying to not get murdered by a tornado or being sick. That ledge is in the shape of Maryland. That's crazy.
Okay, so my friends who know me, I have like 2 main fears, and like one is heights. Like I always make the joke, like I'll be like scared of flying, and people will give me statistics on like, oh, like you're more likely to get eaten by a pig than die in a plane crash. But like I always tell people like, yeah, if the plane was crashing, I would be less scared because it would get to the ground sooner. Like I'm like being high in the air is what's scary to me. It's not, I don't think I'm particularly scared of death. Like I feel one of the ways that I get through my panic attacks is like I just accept death. I'm like, all right, like cool. Like I'm ready, I guess. I've been very, very fortunate. I'm ready to go. My other big fear though is storms. So when I was a kid, I don't want to get too much into detail. There's a thing called a downburst, and it happened on I think it was like my 11th birthday. But anyways, it was the day like after Friday the 13th. And everyone was like, oh, are you nervous? I was like, no. And this super gnarly storm happened, and it wrecked my neighborhood, and it destroyed a bunch of houses near me. And I saw like trees fly through cars, and I'm home alone. It was very, very, very scary. That is my big fear. And there's a tornado warning, and I'm trying to drive home, and I couldn't film what I saw and how scary it was. But you get to see the aftermath of me trying to like navigate home through like just everything's destroyed. Like it looked like a hurricane went through there. I calmed myself down pretty well before I started filming, but I think you can still tell that I'm like pretty shooken up. But yeah, like I'm driving down the road and I'm like not only am I feeling really sick, but like I'm very like emotional and like I feel like just like a complete awful, like I just feel like everything's just terrible through and through. I'm not happy on anything, and then like I'm seeing my greatest fear being realized. The only thing that would have made it worse if I was in an airplane driving through the storm. It's just quite the struggle of the day. And I do, like, when the footage was lost, I remember being like, fuck yeah. So I actually almost hesitated to like make this video. I was like, you know what? As I'm going through it, I feel a little bit better about it. But now that I'm done and I rewatched, I was like, that day sucked. I have no fond memories of this day. But the rest of it, you know, it was good. When you're home, you get emotional, you know, like seeing family and stuff like that. It's a thing. So here's me trying to stay calm for the camera. Enjoy. It's been like this the whole way up. Fallen trees all over the place. Logs going across the entire road, having to drive into the grass. I don't know if a tornado touched down here, but so I'm stopped right now, trying to get out of that storm, that nightmare of a tornado warning. They got the road completely blocked off. Look at this. Tree fell down on the road. This is like the 10th one that I've come across. I don't know if a tornado knocked any of these down or not, but it's like logs are down everywhere. I had to like drive through the grass to get through some of this. Like, this is an absolute nightmare. I hope this guy knows what he's doing, because those look like wires that he's trying to cut through. I don't know if this just happened or not, or if they're just not letting anyone pass through. Cars are pulled over under bridges. I'm actually horrified of storms. I had like a really bad storm experience when I was younger, so I'm not super excited about it. But yeah, I'm glad I get out of that skate park, because the last thing I want is to die by a piece of sheet metal to the back of the head. Let me just say, this guy's an absolute moron. He just cut the log in the middle, so it just like covers the entire road now, whereas like before we could have like easily driven under it. I think he's just like some random dude with a chainsaw. Like, how are you gonna move these logs, genius? You can't pull something that big, and you're gonna take down these lines with you, you idiot. So we're trying to go another way. Got some more trees down. I mean, this storm was just nasty. I mean, I wish I would have been able to film the storm, but I mean, I was like driving through not like a back road. I was on the road. Oh, and another one. Ain't no one getting around. Okay, so for this one, they got a tractor there. They're trying to get people kind of turned around out of the way right now. We got a fire truck coming. I guess like one of these things smashed through some lady's window or something. Now they're probably gonna do this thing where the ambulance and stuff gets through this way, but they keep it blocked off until they clean it up. Let's see what we're driving through right here. Little zigzag action. They need some flaggers out here. Flagger force, where you at? I love all like the neighbors and stuff just like out here hanging out, just like watching the chaos, having a good old time. You can tell this is what everyone's gonna talk about at work tomorrow. Oh yeah, they had a bunch of trees down right here. This is nuts. Look at all these people just hanging out. It's literally like this the whole way through. What a nightmare. Thanks, Obama. Can't really tell. You couldn't really tell. I didn't get it in time, but a tree went through that roof, the roof of that house.